All right, so today we're really diving deep into technical writing.
Okay.
It might not sound like the most exciting thing in the world,
Right.
but seriously, whether you're writing code or emails or even just, trying to get your ideas down, being able to communicate clearly, it can totally make or break a career.
Especially in tech these days.
Exactly. And that's why we're tapping into the expertise of someone who really knows their stuff. Curt Robbins.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that name.
He's this veteran technical writer, over 25 years of experience working with some big names, FedEx,
Wow, yeah.
Microsoft, the list goes on.
So he's seen it all then.
Oh, yeah, he
The
has.
good, the bad, and the ugly of technical writing.
He really has. And what's funny? One of his biggest things that he talks about in this LinkedIn article we're looking at is, get this, a dual monitor setup. Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Right, like, when you're coding, you have multiple windows open all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine that. But for writing,
Okay.
Robbins is saying it's not just about speed, though. It's about actually enjoying the process more.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, less mental fatigue, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because think about it. You're researching, drafting, editing, all at the same time, flipping through documents.
Oh, totally.
Having that extra screen space, I can see how that'd be a game changer.
Totally. And for anyone listening who's thinking, well, that's going to be expensive, Robbins actually addresses that.
Okay, good.
He points out that large, high-quality monitors are actually really affordable these days.
No, yeah. Especially if you shop around a bit.
Exactly. It's an
Yeah.
investment, right? Not a cost.
Totally investing in yourself. Okay, you ready for this? Because this one I thought was interesting. He's a big proponent of initial caps in multi-word hashtags.
Hashtags.
Seriously.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like a small thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it matters much.
But he makes a really interesting case for it.
Okay, I'm curious.
So it's about accessibility.
Okay, yeah, I see where he's going with this.
Right. Because with initial caps, screen readers can actually pronounce each word separately.
Right, so someone with a visual impairment or
Exactly.
dyslexia, it just makes it so much easier to engage with that content.
It's such a simple tweak with a huge impact.
It really is, and it makes you realize how often we forget about those things.
Absolutely. And it's not just about hashtags either.
Oh, for sure.
It's about applying that same kind of thoughtfulness to everything.
Yeah, to every aspect of communication. From the language we use to, even just like the layout of documents.
It's that attention to detail that makes a difference.
Speaking of details, this one I think we're all guilty of. Robbins gets real about proofing social media posts.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to just hit post without really looking at it again.
Yeah, especially on social media, you kind of fall into that trap of like, oh, it's just a quick post.
Right. But Robbins reminds us, especially for technical writers,
Yeah.
your online presence, that's part of your professional brand.
Oh, it totally is.
It's like, imagine you've poured your heart into this amazing technical document,
Right.
and then someone goes to check out your Twitter.
And it's just like a jumbled mess of typos.
Exactly.
Makes you question everything else they've written.
Right. It undermines your credibility.
Yeah, totally. And in a field where precision is key, even a small error can raise doubts.
He had this line in the article. It made me laugh, but it's true. He said, "Others expect your post to be perfect. You are a technical writer after all."
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. Like, people hold you to a higher standard.
You're supposed to be the expert in clear communication.
Exactly. And that actually reminds me of another thing Robbins talks about. It's all about continuous learning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everyone always says that, right? Keep learning.
Right. It's like we hear it constantly.
But Robbins has this fresh take on it. It's so easy to think, okay, I finished that online course. I'm good.
Totally. But then like a week later, there's something new to learn.
Exactly. And that's the thing with tech. The landscape changes so fast.
Oh, yeah. What's cutting edge today is ancient history.
Oh.
Like Terrell.
And for technical writers specifically, Robbins points out that using outdated info, it's not just embarrassing.
Right. There can be some real consequences.
It can actually be dangerous, Like, imagine a medical manual
Oh, God, yeah.
with the wrong dosage information.
You don't want to be giving people the wrong information.
It's risky, and, it's easy to let things slide when you're not constantly updating yourself.
Especially in tech, things move so quickly.
And it's not even just about, the newest gadget or software.
Right. It's about the big picture, too.
Exactly.
It's understanding, new regulations, the business side of things.
The trends in your specific field.
Exactly. It all impacts how you communicate effectively.
He's basically saying that learning, it's not just this separate thing anymore.
It's part of the job description.
It's like built.
Yeah, you have to be constantly adapting and learning to stay ahead of the game.
And Robbins argues that, that ability to learn continuously, That's what gives you job security these days.
Oh, absolutely. The job market is evolving so quickly.
So those who can adapt, they're the ones who are going to thrive.
I completely agree. And, another thing Robbins talks about is the importance of feedback.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
And I know that can be tough,
Hmm.
putting yourself out there.
Oh, yeah, to be critiqued.
It can be scary.
But Robbins has this great way of framing it.
How so?
He calls it an opportunity, not a judgment.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Because that constructive criticism,
Yeah.
it helps you see your blind spots.
The things you don't even realize you're doing.
It's like having a personal editor,
Right in your corner.
giving you personalized advice on how to improve.
And sometimes you get feedback and it's like, oh, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Exactly. Like we get so stuck in our own heads sometimes.
It's so easy to do.
But like Robbins says, it's not just about asking for feedback.
It's about being open to it,
Yeah, being receptive to it, even when it's hard.
having that growth mindset.
And realizing that as writers, we never really stop learning.
Oh, absolutely. There's always room for improvement.
It's about turning those ouch moments into aha moments.
Exactly. And sometimes feedback, it can lead to these surprising discoveries.
Yeah, like what?
Like, for instance, Robbins talks about keeping documents current,
Oh, yeah.
which might seem obvious.
But we've all been there, right? Trying to follow some ancient instruction manual.
Totally. Like those printer instructions from 1998.
They're the worst.
You're like, this doesn't even apply to my life anymore.
Seriously. And Robbins is emphasizing that, especially in a field like tech, where things are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Outdated information.
Yeah.
It's not just useless.
It can actually be harmful.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, imagine you're trying to follow an outdated software manual
Oh my God.
and you totally mess up your entire project.
Because of one wrong screenshot.
Exactly.
Yes, the worst.
So Robbins really stresses the importance of regular reviews and updates, especially for crucial documents.
Absolutely. Like anything that people are relying on to do their jobs properly.
Yeah, like standard operating procedures or company policies.
But those things need to be living documents.
Constantly evolving to reflect the latest and greatest information.
It makes you wonder how often they actually get updated, though, right?
In some organizations, I don't even want to know.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of staying updated, getting feedback, but what about making technical writing engaging?
Yeah, because who wants to stare at walls of text all day?
It can feel like a chore sometimes,
Right. Like, you have to read it.
but it's the last thing you want to do.
Exactly. But Robbins, he's got a great tip for that.
What's that?
Visuals.
Oh yeah, visuals are huge.
He is all about incorporating diagrams, flow charts, even just photos and screenshots.
Anything to break up the text.
Make it easier to digest.
It's like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Totally. And it's not just about aesthetics either. There's actual science behind why visuals work so well.
Oh yeah, how so?
Well, they tap into different parts of our brains, making it easier to process and remember information.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, a well-placed image can make even the driest technical document look more appealing.
Oh, for sure. It's more inviting to read.
Exactly.
And it's not even just about making things look pretty.
Right.
Visuals can often explain complex ideas way more effectively than words alone.
Absolutely. Like, think about anatomical diagrams or those crazy engineering blueprints.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
They cram so much info into a format that's easy to grasp visually.
It's true. You can sometimes get lost in the technical jargon, but a diagram just makes it click.
Exactly. And it also caters to different learning styles. Some people are visual learners.
Right. They need to see it to really understand it.
By using visuals, you make your writing accessible and engaging for a wider audience.
It's like you're speaking everyone's language.
Exactly.
So as we kind of wrap up here, any final thoughts on what our listeners should take away from all this?
Robbins said something that really resonated with me. He said that in today's job market, if you're not actively working on your technical writing skills, you're going to get left in the dust.
He's not holding back?
Nope. But I don't want that to sound scary.
No, it's a call to action.
Exactly. It's empowering. You have the ability to improve and stay ahead.
By focusing on those key things we talked about.
Right. Being open to feedback, embracing technology.
Never stop learning.
You can take your writing to a whole new level and really set yourself apart.
It's true. Those skills are in high demand.
Oh, yeah. Companies are always looking for people who can communicate clearly and effectively.
So it's all about shifting your mindset, right? Recognizing that technical writing, it's a craft. And like any craft, it takes dedication, practice, and that constant drive to learn and grow.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of technical writing.
Sounds good.
We hope you found these tips helpful. And, remember, strong technical writing skills are valuable no matter what field you're in.
They really are.
So keep practicing, keep learning, and keep those words flowing.
And until next time, may your monitors be dual.